Graduate was an English new wave, mod revival musical group formed in 1978 in Bath, England. They were only very mildly successful and broke up by 1981. They are today best known as being the initial recording vehicle for future Tears for Fears members Roland Orzabal and Curt Smith, who found major international fame in the 1980s and 1990s. Band history: John Baker and Roland Orzabal were at school together and performed as the Baker Brothers in local pubs and clubs from 1977, aged 16. The name Graduate came from the fact that they used to open shows with a cover of Simon and Garfunkel's Mrs. Robinson, which was featured in the movie The Graduate. They were introduced to drummer Andy Marsden by their first manager Colin Wyatt, who ran a local musical youth group of which Andy was a member. Steve was also found by Colin Wyatt playing piano at a local night spot in Bath, and for a while they played with various bass players until Curt was offered the role. Roland and Curt had played in a youth club band called Ducks when they were 14. In 1979, Graduate signed a publishing deal with Tony Hatch, who subsequently offered the group to Pi Records. Graduate recorded their debut album Acting My Age at Crescent Studios, Bath in January 1980. The first single, Elvis Should Play Ska, reached number 82 in the UK charts in April 1980. Whilst band were on a 33-date UK tour supporting Judy Suki, although it fared better in Spain, reaching the top 10. The band then travelled to Spain twice in 1980 to do TV and promotion work. John and Roland were conducting a radio interview in Madrid when they learned of the shooting of John Lennon in December 1980. The band undertook a grueling tour of Germany in October, November 1980. Having to drive hundreds of miles between gigs with no roadies. This was the main reason given from Orzabal for quitting on the return. At this time he did not see his future as a live artist and wanted to concentrate on writing. Curt Smith also left the band at this stage. Graduate also appeared on UK TV during 1980. They performed Ever Met a Day on the children's TV show Runaround for Southern TV in Southampton. They also appeared on 2 episodes of RPM Rock for BBC Bristol, playing 3 songs on each show, live. Graduate continued into 1981. They replaced Orzabal and Smith for a short while with Darren Hatch on bass, son of Tony Hatch and Jackie Tront, and Nigel Newton on guitar. They played a handful of local and London gigs and carried on the relationship with Pi PRT. They recorded a number of demos with Ian Stanley in mid-1981. John and Steve became busy with European promotional work with the Corgus, and so Graduate fizzled out. In 1981, Orzabal and Smith went on to form the acclaimed new wave band Tears for Fears. Andy Marsden played drums on the original single recording of Suffer the Children. John Baker later joined the Corgus, a band featuring members of Stackridge. John joined Roland again in 1993, singing backing vocals on the UK and US hit Break It Down Again. Andy and John still to this day play in a covers band, The Meanies, alongside former Graduate manager Glenn Tommy and James Warren of the Corgus. Personnel: Roland Orzabal, guitar, keyboards, lead vocals; Curt Smith, bass, synthesizers, occasional lead vocals; John Baker, guitar, occasional lead vocals; Steve Buck, keyboards and flute; Andy Marsden, drums. Albums. References. External links. Graduate discography at Discogs. Graduate at AllMusic. http://memorisfade.com. Discographies. Graduate.